Today, I've got the honor and pleasure to be with two absolutely amazing souls. Ivor Kelly, who is Irish but a global person. She speaks many languages and she's a transformational psychologist. And she was blessed to meet Herbert Quinteros one time at his lovely concert. So welcome both to Wellness Spring.
Thank you for having us.
Pleasure. So Ava, we actually met many years ago while you were in Monaco. And since then, you've been doing lots of studies and lots of travels. So would you like to tell us a bit about your background and leading up to the meeting with the lovely Herbert?
Sure. Okay, I can do that. So my background is in psychology, and I studied first of all in Vienna, my bachelor's. And when I was studying my bachelor's, quite a lot of difficult life events happened. My mom died, my father lost his business. Actually, my brother also tried to take his life. And so it was a really difficult period for me. And I thought to myself, well, I'm studying psychology, so in here there should be some kind of an answer how to cope with these situations. I made the decision then that I was just going to try everything and see what works, see what really helped. And of course, Vienna is home of psychoanalysis, so I tried a lot of different methods there. I went on to do my master's in transpersonal psychology, and now I'm doing a PhD in psychophysiology, which is all really amazing. And in the meantime, yes, I was busy trying everything out there. I became very interested in shamanism and traditional healing and indigenous healing cultures, and also just their perspectives on healing. I went to work in Moscow for about 6 or 7 years. And one friend of mine who knew a lot about these kind of topics, she said, there's an amazing music concert on tonight with this fabulous musician and singer from the Amazon, and you've got to go. And I went, and that's where I met Herbert. And it was the start of a beautiful friendship and a lot of learning.
Fantastic. And
From
so,
Peru.
Herbert, would you like to tell us where you are from and your background and how you became a shaman and working with the medicinal healing plants?
First, I want to say thank you very much to this opportunity to share all this beautiful path that I'm walking, and you are sharing also the beautiful and giving inspiration to connect to the people, to connect with the family, to connect with people who are also in the process. My name is Herbert Quinteros. I am from the high jungle from Peru, from the Amazon rainforest. My traditions come in Quechua tradition. It's a mix also that we have a mestiçage of Quechua and contemporary or Spanish people, no? The mix is that the mix of that we call mestizos. But the knowledge come from my grandfathers, and this knowledge was passing generation by generation by generation, and now all that we bring to this society is to reconnect again the nature, to understand that nature is part of us. The nature is how we are building inside, because the water is in our emotions, the earth is in our body, the mind is in the wing, on the thoughts that you can be able to reconnect, and the heart, no, the love is everything who are integration of everything to be healthy, to be clean, and to be open in your heart. Love is the medicine, but we use the master plants. We call master plants because we learn from the plants. We learn from the ceremony. We learn for special plants who are going heal, no, your body, it go to heal your spirit. Because my tradition and my cosmovision say, if your spirit is healed, your body is going to heal. This is why there is a lot of disease in the body that people can cure, because there is something no in this body. It's also the problem is in the spirit. This is why the shamanism way in my tradition go to work and heal the spirit.
Fantastic. And can you give us an example of how you work with your clients and maybe share a success story, obviously not giving the client's name?
Yeah, okay. For example, um, there is a people who are very, very no emotions inside. It's very, very the heart is too close. No, a lot of fears, a lot of insecurities, a lot of traumas that the people was carrying in the heart. To open the heart, to trust himself. That we do when the people go to the jungle. We first step is to analyze in which process of their life which process of his life or her life is crossing in the moment. Now we analyze and we start to share. We start to choose the plant that what we are going to give. For example, the people who want to open this chakra, the heart, with to be more strong, to be more secure, to open the emotions, because there is a people who are no emotional. We want to open this, break these fears in the heart. We give the roots of the plant called Uchpawasha Sanango. Uchpawasha Sanango. Difficult. This is my language. It's Quechua. Uchpawasha Sanango. It's a plant who are just growing in the Amazon, in the high jungle of the Amazon in Peru. We go, we look in the jungle, we found the plant, and we start to get the tobacco. We put a little tobacco, and we start to pray to the tobacco, to connect with the plant, to connect with the spirit of the tree. What it's called in my language called Aini. Aini mean the connection, the reciprocity. That hey, I am asking you for your helps. I'm asking you forgive this connection that you can give me to heal my brother, to heal you with your power, with your energy, with your spirit, to heal my brother, my sister, to open his heart, because this plant is specific for that. We start to pray and we start to sing. This is where the music starts to come. The vibration of each chant that we do, it calls Ikaro. The Ikaro is the specific vibrations to call the spirit of the plants to have the connection with the Aini, to have the Aini connection. For example, I can sing the Uchpawasha Sanango. Uchpawasha Sanangito muera, shamu como pausito callar. Si punta mariri, si sai punta mariri, si sai punta y mariri, si sai punta maririto. Uchpawasha muera chamu como pausito callar. Si sai punta mariri, si sai punta mariri, si sai punta mariri, si sai punta maririto. And then when we pray to the tobacco, we give the tobacco like an offering to the plant. In this moment, we are able to connect with the plant, and we take the root of the plant, or also the leaves. It can be also it depends what we are looking for. In this case, we take the bark of the plant. Then we boil for many hours and pray in the juice that we are preparing, and then we give these people to this juice. When the people drink this plant, they have to go in the special huts. It's called tambo, is the name. Like it's the bungalow, but in the middle of the jungle. This is isolation way. They don't eat salt, they don't eat sugar, but they talk with me every day. I go to check it out. How are you? Because the plants start to work in dreams. It's no any hallucinogenic. It's no any expansion plants. No, it is more deep, more sensitive. It's go deeper, not in your brain. It's go in your DNA. There is something that is carrying in your, not just in your DNA, also in your vibration, also in your energetic state, in your aura. And the plants start to shake, the plants start to blooming, start to bring all this emotion. You start to cry, you start to remember in dreams about your father was giving to you, you are not good enough, no? And then the people start to scream sometimes about the trauma was when in your childhood, no? Then you start to come back and make a feedback about the situation where the trauma was passing. This is the very interesting how these master plants start to go to the point of the trauma was happening. In this way, but then the plant teach you like, hey, he was screaming because he has also trauma. Your father has a trauma, and your father has some issues with your grandfather. But this is the moment to surrender and forgiveness. This is where the healing starts.
Wow.
And then the people start to cry, start to sweat, start to shake sometimes, because it's a very emotional moment. It's very emotional because the plants start to work and go deep in the dreams. Sometimes in the dreams you see a spirit doctor start to make operation in your heart to open and clean your body, your mind, put other body, other spirits. And it's amazing how the spirits in the jungle bring the technology of cure the spirit, the spirit of people. This is just one example. We can give you Bobi Insana for roots, for emotions. We can give you Chirisanango for fears. We can give you Chuchuasha for increase your immune system in this moment that people need right now. We can give you, there is other plants who has very, very beautiful Chuchuasha, for example. The Chuchuasha, if you have, for example, arthritis, we give Ahosacha. Sacha means jungle, garlic from the jungle, but it's not garlic, it's the tree. When it smells like a garlic, it's amazing. When you drink the juice, all the pains that you have for the rheumatism, some pain in your joints, gone. It's amazing how these plants, because rheumatism also is attached to a lot of emotions, and how sometimes the people are not able to clean up all these emotions, but the plants go directly to the point, and you feel how it's moving in the dreams, and then people are successful transformation in the body, in the spirit, in the mentality to be more open, more flexible, more connected with the nature. Is the technology. Like
Wow.
The grandfather was carrying many years, and this knowledge was given generation by generation. And I'm so happy that I can be able to carry this technology, these plants in my life, in my center also, that we have a Katari Centre is the name of my center. Katari means a snake, and the snake in our life is the life. And always the snake is connecting the heart with the Mother Earth. It's the first reptile who is connected the heart with the earth. Now, this is why we call our center for this kind of healings in Peru, in the high jungle. No?
Fantastic. Well, you covered a lot of things there. Firstly, I'd like to honor and thank you for that beautiful singing. And it's just so magical that you actually sing to the plants before you give them to someone. And as you both know, everything is energy, and that energy that you're putting into the plants, already the person is going to feel loved and cared and nurtured. And you mentioned the heart chakra and people holding fears. And I wanted to ask you a bit more about that, because obviously we're just coronavirus, and in some countries they're still on lockdown. And from our chat earlier, you told me you're currently in India, which is the home of the chakras, chakra meaning, a spinning wheel of light and energy. So can you tell us more about, is it lockdown where you are now in India, and how people are coping with their fears there, and how you are helping them? Because I know you're currently sitting in a beautiful meditation center.
Yes, I am in the International Valley Pyramid. It's Pyramid Valley International is the name of this this center where I make my retreats here with music also. So we finish our retreat, but then start to close the borders and everything, and we stay here. And this place sectors where you can be able to walk around, because it's all closed. It's a private property where the owner is a very good friend of us, also joining us in the retreat that we have here. And yeah, I'm so lucky to be here and observing like observer how everything is happening. because the fears bring also awakeness. You know? When you start to observe what the fears are, why the fears are coming with each person, no? And secures a lot of to understand where the people are going to transform their lives, no, in the future, no. But also in the same time is a beautiful time to see what's going on inside, no, what's happening inside, what I have to change first myself for change. When the pandemic start to open the doors, when this calm down, what the people is going to share after all these situations happening inside. So I think it's going to be a big lesson for most of the people, no? For attachments. It is amazing how life bring you all these hurricanes, no? To move all this emotional more with these eclipses that we have, no? And it's very interesting. And
Yeah.
Peru, for example, Peru is the solstice was 21st, no? 21st of June.
Yeah.
But for Inca calendar, the tradition Inca is a new year, no? It's like a solsticio, it's like a welcoming, and very interesting because today the government start to open the doors to everybody go to work, no? It's very interesting, like okay, that's all done, let's go. Be now responsible about your mask, about your health, because the government say, okay, go straight ahead. No, it's very interesting moment now that this people happening, you know.
Yeah, and it's great that you mentioned looking within, because I'm a Reiki master and teacher and meditation teacher, and I can feel the conscious awareness shift, and I know it's global. And you mentioned, you know, even out of fear, there's a positive side. And I believe that this has been a wonderful opportunity globally, the first time in history, that everybody has to slow down and have been given the opportunity to look within. As you rightly mentioned, when we have to do the healing on ourselves first. And, you know, I've had loads of people at the start ringing me that couldn't deal with isolating by themselves. And our innate nature is to be social beings, so they couldn't cope with it. And then on the other hand, there was people who were not used to being with their partner because either the wife works long hours or the husband, and also having children at home and doing homeschooling. So people were contacting me with so many fears, and fears about catching the virus and all the rest of it. So I had to say to everyone, look, slow down, breathe, focus on your breathing. And then I started twice daily meditation, because for me, I thought it was a wonderful opportunity for Mother Earth to heal, because if Mother Earth is sick, then we all suffer, we're all sick. So it was, I said, see the benefits, you know, Mother Earth has got the time to heal, and you can heal. It's now, there's so many amazing people doing free courses online. So make a structure to your day, and if you're with family included, and if you're on your own, join some Zoom calls and things like that. So I started twice daily meditation, and then a live group once a week. People just needed to see other people's faces and, you know, welcome the fact, like, we're all in it together. You're not on your own, and don't be afraid. So what is your take on it, Ava?
Well, I have to agree with both of you. I think it was a special time for going inside, as you say. I think also right now, what I notice in the world is we have a lot of questions about what is the truth. Okay, what is your truth? What's the truth in the news and things like that? And I think this is also something that that we're working on, maybe all over the world, to get in touch with our own truth and stop being so reliant on the outside truths or mistruths or whatever they may be. So to know your own truth, I think. And we've had time for that during confinement.
Yeah, I think, you know, the social media is good on one level, but on the other level, people are so happy to post other people's posts without even checking, is this true? Is the facts true? And so forth. So I think, first of all, you have to question everything, you know, look within and question and think, does that resonate to me? And then, you know, go with the flow. And I think nature, as Herbert was saying, is our best teacher. You know, nature by design is incredible, with the day and the night, the sun and the moon, and everything happening perfectly. And as Aristotle said, let nature be your own medicine. And I think now is the time, because we've lived a fast life, fast food, we're not looking inside. What does my body need? What do my mind need? What does my soul need? You know, so I think people are now looking, instead of just taking fast food and being mindless, they're being more mindful. And I liked the way you talked about, Herbert, when you said when people took the medicine for the heart, that you were there for them. You would support them with their dreams and, you know, stuff that was coming up maybe from childhood traumas. So just for some clarity for myself and the listeners, my understanding is they take the medicine and then in a dream, something is revealed to them that was repressed, because, you know, in the Western society, boys don't cry, shh, be quiet, and we learn to block our emotions and choke down our words. And also, because I've worked with lots of cases with people in severe traumas, they could have been raped by their brother or father or next door neighbor or whoever, they will learn to repress it, not to bring shame on the family. So, and you might witness something horrendous and we've learned to repress it. So my understanding is, you know, it might not be as traumatic as that, you know, but you're saying that when they take the medicine in a safe environment, you are there to support them and dreams come up. So, you know, I'm sure some people would be shocked and frightened when they see a trauma that they visited. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, exactly. The first things that the people have to feel is very comfortable in this way. The people is going to be able to understand that, hey, the nature is not so bad, not dangerous, no? If you are in a very clean, energetic and beautiful, safely bubble space, the people is going to start to surrender and open and go deep in the process, no? It means my work, like a medicine man, is just simply to people who are coming to make some healing, no? Because the plants are the shamans, the plants are the healing, the plants are the medicine. Me are just facilitated and take care in the process, and just like a chicken mama, you know, chicken mama, take care in the small chickens, no? This is my work, no? To take care. If somebody's go, hey, come here, Poo, no? Hey, don't go back, come here, Poo. Throw my music, take care in each process and giving, no? The tools where the people can navigate in this difficult situation, no? This is why the work of the plants are very delicate also, and it's very important to support after and before, you know, the post diet, how we call, is very important, because the people can be also a lot of exploration, a new world, no? Because it's a new world where the people are exploring, and this is where, hey, I am here, I am driving, no problem, okay, yeah, no, this is like we're driving all together, and where the people can navigate themselves. No, I give the drive, okay, drive a little bit, no, okay, not yet, okay, give me, this is where, until there is a moment where he can be able to drive, and okay, you can be able to drive, but I am here anyway. There are people who are, for example, so grateful 10 years ago, and they roll me still, like so grateful they are. And for example, there was one friend of mine want to have a babies, and they were trying many years have a babies, but what happened was a trauma in the utero, was a trauma. No, the relationship that they have with her mama and her grandmama was not good, but it bring the energy and the warm energy of mama in the utero, no. And I give the plants for make warm the utero and to prepare to have a baby, and she has twins, and like it was very interesting how all the plants healing, all the plants start to open and to heal this trauma, for be able energetically, psyche, and in the body connection to be ready to bring babies in this case, or to have some other kind of healing the plants do. It is very interesting technology, It's very interesting technology how the indigenous people were using these plants, these healing plants.
Yeah, and I think, like you mentioned about arthritis, and obviously, you having babies, people having problems. I know worldwide there's a huge problem with people trying to get pregnant, because people in the Western world for years have been taking birth control pills, and it's, if you take them for 10, 15 years, of course it's going to mess up your system. Then there's so many pollutions from pesticides on the food that we're eating, and other drugs that we're taking for headaches and so forth. I know there's a huge problem with impotency with men globally, because recently I did a chat with Therese Kerr, who's the clean environment queen, and she questions vaccination. She's not against them, but she believes in safe vaccinations. But just the products we put on our skin, and the food that we ingest, the toxins, it's like eating a credit card once a month. So, the world is polluted, and we're putting that pollution in our bodies. So people have to wake up and spend time. You're so blessed. Like, I feel calm just looking at you and looking at the lovely environment, and that singing really touched my heart. It's a shame that, worldwide people don't know about all these natural remedies, because arthritis, I know from the energetic work, is like being critical of yourself. And, we carry, we are the worst people for judging and criticizing ourselves. We do it more harshly than any other person on the planet. So it's not surprising that every one of us doesn't have arthritis, because, these feelings and emotions have to present somewhere. And I know from Louise L. Hay, she believes all our thoughts, if we don't deal with them, will represent as an illness in our body. So, my prayer for the world would be that everybody wakes up and looks within and find out what they need themselves, and turn to nature, because nature is the best remedy. And I know in the Western world, ayahuasca seems to be like the in thing. Before the coronavirus, loads of people were talking about it. And I believe, I haven't experienced it myself, but I believe someone gave a talk and explained about the wonderful ceremonies they do in the Amazon. And from that talk, I know a lot of the medicinal benefits from it. So would you like to explain that? Do you do ayahuasca ceremonies, for example?
Yes, I make ayahuasca ceremonies. Ayahuasca is a complement that other master plants create, no? This is why of healing retreat give the master plants, and in the middle in Peru we make the ceremonies with ayahuasca where it's legal, no, where be able to create to create the expansion in the body and the mind and the spirit to understand and to continue the healing through this sacrament. Not because for us ayahuasca is not just a medicine; it's a sacrament, because we can be able to pray, we can be able to reconnect with your ancestors, we can be able to reconnect with your DNA, you know, to a lot of spirits was living many lives, many teachers, many bodies, and there is always some stuck in some problems, some situations, some traumas, some blockages where ayahuasca we can all be able to enter in this kind of vibrations very deep, no, where we can see more clarity. It's like ayahuasca when we drink, it's like to rayos X, like to check it out, how is the patient and spirit, and where is the situation, where plants we are going to use, song we are going to use, how many days we are going to drink, which plant we are going to drink. It's always like to check it out, everything, how we are going to work, no? And this is a tool that the indigenous people are using, this ayahuasca for check it out, everything about the patients, everything about the people, no? Now in this new generation, it's new, the people are drinking ayahuasca. No, it is the new age way, because normally just the oldest was able to drink ayahuasca for check it out the patients, but now everybody's drinking ayahuasca. But the people have to understand that everybody is not ready for drink ayahuasca. It's not for everybody. It's a very delicate plant, because if the people are taking some medicaments, some pills, Valium, for example, of some inas, antalginas, or something for the gripe, or you have some issues in your heartbeat, it is very delicate. To the people have to understand that ayahuasca is not for everybody, because it can cause more trauma, more crises, more fears, because the pills also can create a shock. No, the armalin that ayahuasca have, it is the inhibitor who open the enzymes to the chacruna of the leaves, can create the visions and everything. If you are taking some pills or some chemicals in your body that day, if you don't say the medicine man that you're taking this pill, it can create a heart attack, no? And it can be very, very dangerous. This is why we have to be always asking the people the tree life. How was your tree life? What medicaments you are using, if you're ready or not. Always to take caring the psyche of the people, to take care in the body and the healthy of the mind. This is the objective of our medicine man that we are working, no? And the people in this system have to understand that it is not for everybody. It is not like a join. No, let's go to no, it's not a party. It is very serious. It's very, very delicate plan that we have to have a respect for the ceremonies. No, in the very important, it's have to be taken in the ceremonial and ritual way. You know, because this is where it's more safely. You know. Because if you drink and expand your consciousness, go to the jungle, or you are open your consciousness, but you don't know what kind of spirits, what kind of energies, or what kind of trauma you can fight, or you can found, and then you can create more trauma about this, because the shamans or the medicine man is not going to be guiding you through the icaros, through the music, or you don't know how to go. Just you go, but I don't know if you're going to come back. No, this is very, very important to have a very good to be in the good hands. No, in this kind of plants. No.
And so why would people go to one of these ceremonies?
Because the most of people they arrive in their lives that they don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. They don't know what's going on after this life, like a normal life, no? But what really is happening? What's going on around, no? And this is the people are discovering, the people are very interested to understand more about themselves, more about the spiritual science, about the creation, about the environment, about the healing in the spirit. And of course, there is a lot of people who coming also with a lot of traumas, like everybody. But the most of the people are looking for some new way to reconnect in themselves. This is the situation. This is why
I've heard a lot of people have had an amazing awakening when they go there and really find their true pathway.
Yeah, this is really the ayahuasca is to remind you, to remind how are you, to remind that you are part of the nature, to remind that we are one. The God is not in the sky, the devil is not underground. It's everything is inside. This is the plants come to teach you and to remind you, especially ayahuasca too, about everything is inside. Forget about judgments. This is all ego. Forget about to speak for other people. Come on, everything is inside. Be humble, be open, respectful inside. This how ayahuasca teach you is the awareness to be in the moment. This is the most beautiful teaching that I can get. But to arrive to awareness, to arrive to forgiveness, to arrive to love, this is many steps, that you have to clean and to take out all the layers. It's like an onion, The person who, when they arrive to the center or to make this kind of work, they arrive to the big onion. And the ayahuasca and the medicinal plants, the healing music, that they start to peel all the layers, layer, until you arrive the why, where you can see the light. I understand. This is me too, of course.
I'm glad that you mentioned it's really important to be with someone who's knowledgeable and safe. And I love the fact you talk about the present moment, because I truly believe that only the present moment exists. That's, everything that happens is now in the present moment. So it's good to be consciously aware of the present moment. And I know some people would be fearful of losing control of their mind and things like that. And I'm curious, Ava, what you have to say from a scientific point of view about ayahuasca.
Yeah, sure. Well, there's a lot of research going on at the moment about ayahuasca, especially because what we see is that there are too many side effects with antidepressants that we use. And it doesn't, in the end, really solve the original problem, or this problem of spirit, as Herbert talks about. It's also going on because some people are resistant to the treatments that we have. It's really positive, but still, well, first of all, it's not FDA approved. That takes time and money. But we have a certain, how to say it, it's like we have a certain visor in the way that we see maybe some traditional medicines. And we're prepared to take maybe a pharmaceutical pill that has side effects. But if a traditional medicine involves something uncomfortable, like vomiting or something, we might think, oh, that's really bad. So I think, first of all, in science, the research is going on, but the stigma and some of the attitudes that maybe came from some of the research in the 60s and 70s is still with us. But I think that will change a lot in the coming years. They're also looking at ayahuasca as a treatment for addiction. And there again, the results are really positive so far.
Fantastic. And, Herbert mentioned a few things about taking medicines and it can clash. What things are mainly very good for ayahuasca, especially for people not taking any?
I'm not sure I know what you mean. What things are good to avoid with ayahuasca?
Symptoms, illnesses, because you mentioned addiction.
Yeah, well, as Herbert said, I mean, people go to ayahuasca for all kinds of different reasons. And sometimes you come with one reason and realize you're there for a whole other reason. I think it's worth saying, first of all, that as Herbert said, there are contraindications. You shouldn't take it if you're on antidepressants and psychotic medicine, this kind of thing. You have to get off it. You'd have to talk first very thoroughly with the center, and they'll advise you on that. Also, people with history of psychosis shouldn't be doing this. And there is also, I would say, some malpractice because it's not exactly a regulated field. So if you're considering this, you need to find a really, really good shaman. And how to do that can be kind of tricky, right? Word of mouth is a good way, a recommendation from someone you really respect. And then, of course, you can talk to the shaman or the center and ask them really thoroughly and make sure they know what they're doing, because anything that's powerful, and this is powerful, needs to be done really properly and really respectfully. About what people can go to ayahuasca with, well, I've sat in many, many ceremonies. And ceremony, the next day, for example, there's often a sharing circle. So you hear actually what everyone came with. And there's everything under the sun. Should I quit my job? Can we improve our marriage? I can't get pregnant. I have depression. I have a chronic illness. All kinds of different things. I mean, I originally went there. I was just having the very first time I was curious, and it was not with Herbert. And the very first time I thought, well, okay, it's interesting, but it's really not that amazing. And then about 6 months passed, and I looked back and I said, wow, that's so interesting. My life has really taken a different course since that day. So sometimes you don't go there and get the major catharsis of trauma or some big answer to a question, but sometimes you look back and you see that your life has changed and you do feel better. And we can see from a scientific point of view that the serotonin pathways and things in the brain start to work better. Then I have also done it with a psychotherapist when I was in Austria, because at that time I thought, okay, psychotherapy, this is the proper way to solve problems. And I would not recommend that anymore. I think a shaman like Herbert knows what he's doing to a large extent. It's a different kind of understanding. But yeah, you can go there with all kinds of physical, emotional, or spiritual blockages or problems or questions, relationship questions too.
Fantastic. And what actually happens in a ceremony? Because you mentioned you've been to a few, like, is there meditation or chanting, or do you put people in a meditative state first?
Okay, I'll answer that question. So again, it's a little bit different from ceremony to ceremony. And as Herbert explained, at his center, they work with lots of different plants and diets. But if we're talking about ayahuasca ceremony, typically there will be some free time where you can choose to meditate yourself, or there might be a group meditation. You will speak with the shaman and talk to them about your intentions, what you would like to get out of the ceremony. You organize in a group. Usually it happens in the evening, though there are also. And you take the drink, the tea, the ceremonial tea, and we sit in silence for about, I think it's 40 minutes. But again, it's not a timed thing per se. And after that time, the shaman begins to sing and awaken the medicine. And normally you start to feel that this process is beginning. So the main process in that acute way typically takes about 5-6 hours, but that can vary as well. And those would be the strong effects. But as I said, you can feel some kind of effect for months afterwards. I'm not saying you won't be able to drive your car or something, but you might feel more connected with nature. You connect better with different people. So it's very individual, which is the strength of the medicine. But it's also why you can't always tell someone this and this is going to happen to you. So there's a general process to the ceremony, but there are lots of variations.
Fantastic. And Herbert, how many people, do you have a limit to the number of people in the ceremony, or, you know, how many people come to your ceremony?
To me, it depends, no? But I have a group in India. I had 50 people, the maximum that I give. Yeah, 50 people. But I prefer the groups of 20, 25, no? But if it's a smaller, more intimate, no, there is people who don't like groups, and I make individual ceremonies, no, or more private ceremonies, no, where the people have to bring just 2 or 3 very close friends of them, or a family that they want to make some works, and I make work for them. No problem. No, that's my work always in the service. No, but the most curious in the ceremony is to purge. No, because in the system, if you talk about purging, is like wow, no, I afraid about purging. But when you purge with the madrecita ayahuasca, we call madrecita like a beautiful mama, no? When we purge with the mama ayahuasca, is like a freedom. The freedom about the heaviness that you are carrying in your body, in your mind, is like a womb. Somebody compare in the Congress of Medicinal Plants, I hear some psychiatry and psychology was telling that one ceremony of ayahuasca can be 1 year of psychotherapies or psychology therapies.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And you mentioned families. What's the age limit, you know, for the children to take ayahuasca?
Yeah. In the jungle, they start very early, 8, 9, they start to drink a little bit, for be connected with the nature. There in the jungle, in my communities, it's normal to take ayahuasca because it's part of our culture, it's part of our medicine. This is why we call the purga, La purga means the purging, the purging plant, And because it helps to purge, it helps to clean, to take out all this emotional stuff that we are carrying, Sometimes this is the most difficult moment when the people are suffering to purge, to create, because there is too much in the mind attached, but you are with your bucket, because in the ceremony you have your own bucket, and the bucket is your best friend, because you have to be close to your bucket, And but when you purge, then the people say, wow, it's the first time that I am not scared to purge. I was scared all the time about purge, but because it's a very psychosomatic problems that the most of people have. This is where the illness come from, from this system.
Yeah.
This is where, because the attachments, don't purge, it is sick, is to feel sick, what the sick means, We create this sickness in your issues, in our psychosomatic way, in the psychosomatic way. This is where the ayahuasca expands the consciousness and the traumas and the blockages, and you purge, and then you feel like a freedom, and the people can feel the difference, like a wow, it is really transform and change all the thoughts, all the feelings and emotion that I was thinking about the purging, and this is part of the healing, and to totally trust the process. This is the most important in the most difficult moment, because if you don't trust, you are not trust nobody, and you're going to lose more. If you surrender and let it go and breathe like okay, this is where the medicine, boom, in 1 second can transform all the meanings of your process. From that you are sat very deep in the process, that they can bring you very down, but in the moment that you understand that it's part of your healing, you surrender, and then the medicine bring you to the joyfulness, to the high level. Sometimes the people compare to the level of nirvana, or the meditation of 20 years, that the consciousness of people who are full of serotonin, full of colorfuls and joyfulness of emotions, of visions, on sensations that is happening inside. It's very deep. It's very deep sacrament.
Yeah. Well, I think like in the Western world, I know from some clients or from other people, you brought up in a society, as I mentioned earlier, be quiet, don't talk, and repress our feelings. And we're so used to taking medications. And I talked to a friend who had 4-stage cancer in his stomach, and he said, look, you know, everybody's happy, because we talked about different alternative therapies, and he said, you know, a lot of people like to have their illness because they get a secondary gain, but it's like, how are you, you know, and they're not really interested on doing the work on themselves. They're happy being sick and having a pint of beer with their mates and talking about their issues or whatever. So, you know, I think this lockdown has been good to have people to look within, and hopefully they will start seeing the world through new eyes. And if they need help, it's going to be wonderful, you know, if we can spread the word about the wonderful work that you're doing and bring people back to nature, because I know all of us in the Western world would have had grandmothers or great-grandmothers who, you know, would have given us natural remedies when we were growing up for all our aches and pains. So it is. So how can people get hold of you to find out how they can learn more information about the work that you're doing?
Mm-hmm. Oh, we have a website, no? The people can look and the Google, no? Katari with key, kataricentre.com, where the people can get any information, not just for my center. My center is want to be a pilot of center where the people can have also information, education, healing, a lot of teaching and learnings also about the medicinal plants, no, where we provide people to facilitate people, no just coming to drink with me or make the ceremony with me, no, also to provide and to inform people that it's very specific treatment that you can do, or a specific plan that you should to drink, or how we can help you in whatever process you are, no. This is what our work is here, to support people in different kind of communities, drinkers, ceremonial states, no, not just with ayahuasca, with other plants also. And they can find us, no, kataricentre.com, kataricentre.com. You can go in the website and you can check it out, how we work with the medicinal and master plants in the Amazon rainforest, and how we make the retreats, no, and also when the people are signing us to join to the retreat, we start to communicate what are you looking for, what do you need to heal. In this way we are choosing and decide the way how we are going to work and which plants we are going to use for each person, no? Because each person is a world, no? It's a big world, it's a different process, it's unique, how my beautiful sister says, it's a unique process. And the most important, you are going to get something that nature, the mama nature, is going to provide you, the perfect, all that you need, you are going to get all that you need in a perfect point. No more than this, I can tell you what you're going to get. It's not my position to tell you what to do, or what the plant is going to give you. The plants know what do you need to heal until which point of your process of life, where you can be able to support also, no, where you can be able, where you are able to support your own process also in the right way, no.
That's amazing, because it'd be wonderful if all children in schools would go out in nature and learn about nature. And, you know, I'm always drawn to trees, and I think maybe in another lifetime I was living in nature. And I think it's just wonderful. And your ceremonies and the singing, the music that you do, I've been listening to your YouTube channel. And that music is incredible. You know, I feel that I've been receiving healings on many levels just listening to your music. So I will put a list of on the write-up where everybody can contact you for the healing. Would you like to share anything else? Like, for example...
Yes, for example, if the people are interested in my music, on to reconnect again, or to just to be in the way that you can just connect with your breath, I have a website, herbertquinteros.net. herbertquinteros.net is my website, where you can be able to find my album, no? And there's a beautiful album, the last album that I made with Pepe Danza, a Taxi Fernando from Brazil. We're recording this album to reconnect in the meditation with yogis, with people who are in the deep process of ceremonial stuff, and we recording this album, reconnecting again in the same vibration. And I recommend people to listen this last album, and it's called Ceremonial, no ceremony. It's in my website, and you can find me in YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. My music is around, and now I am going to sign a contract with a big company who is going to make a tours with my music, and I'm so happy to open these new doors with the booking manager, because it's going to be easier to go to England, to go to France, to travel around the world with this healing music. And I'm going to bring a beautiful musician with me, and we are going to carry a beautiful medicine music, like a ceremonial way, but without, just with music. No?
Oh, this is wonderful, wonderful news. And I'm more than happy to help promote you. And if you want to do any retreats or anything here, that's fantastic. Before we sign off, if you had one thing to share with the world, what would it be? If you wanted to change the world, what would it be?
But people around the world, in my community, in all my city, all my friends, I just want to tell you that you have to trust what your heart is telling you. Take away these fears, because the fears is going to bring you more blockages, more fears. Now it's time to step in the clarity, and always awareness about what are you doing in this life for yourself. How much you take care of yourself, you're going to be able to understand more the nature in yourself. Then you're going to reflect to take care of the nature around you. For all your relations, take care. Love is the medicine. And a big hug.
Thank you. That is incredible. I've just been asked to write a chapter on a fictional book on self-love. And, you know, to me, the heart and love is the only medicine of the world, the higher vibration, you know. So I'm so delighted to hear that message coming from you. It's so wonderful. And I'm very grateful to Ava for firstly meeting you and, you know, suggesting doing a podcast together. Ava, is there something you would like to share with the listeners, how they can contact you and the work you do?
Yeah, well, this work, talking about ayahuasca and the healing plants, that's really a passion of mine. So if anybody on the French Riviera would like to contact me, you can find me on my personal Instagram. It's akelly_unfinished. And yes, the other thing I would like to add is that we do hope that Herbert will be able to do a concert here at some point when traveling gets back up and running.
Wow, that's incredible. That's incredible. And I will put links to everything so that people can find out more about you and listen to your wonderful music. And so we can all be connected through this medicine of love. Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much.